Wow, half those people aren't even here, Aaron. What's going on? I'm John Maher. That's Aaron Brooks. It's just the dudes, just the cool dads.
Yes.
Doing these 2 episodes of Dexter Resurrection. How you doing, Aaron?
Yeah. The ladies from the program have dropped as quickly as the people at the serial killer dinner club that Leon's hosting. So
that is true.
I wonder which one of us is responsible.
We're talking about 2 episodes today. Episode 3, which is Backseat Driver, and episode 4, which is Call Me Red. So I'm just going to show the trailer for the 4th episode. Why the hell not? Is recovering it.
I haven't been this excited since I don't even know.
And who is the new guy?
This is Red, best known as Dark Passenger.
Welcome to the freak show.
No place I'd rather be.
If you think Harrison had anything to do with that murder.
1 minute.
Ryan Foster, the guy who was found chopped up in garbage bags.
How about a cup of coffee?
I mean, where to really start? I mean, we kind of like 3 is like the bridge into 4. So I think now once we get to episode 4, we're kind of in the main storyline of the season, because the Dark Passenger, Red, whatever you want to call him, he's kind of like the introduction to get Dexter accidentally into this like serial killer fan club dinner party scene. And I think the way Dexter kind of like beats him is like really clever. That he knows how the guy's going to try to kill him, so he wraps his throat with like steel so he can't cut his head off. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's like definitely feels like throwback Dexter, like Killer of the Week. I don't think that this Dark Passenger, so to speak, was ever supposed to feel like a big ominous threat. It was more like kind of an ends to a means. So it is what it is. It was just kind of the mini 3 arc to get us into the main meat of this story, I think, with where we're going with Resurrection.
But yeah, Dexter immediately kind of steps in it though, because then he steals this guy's identity to join this,
which is essentially all of episode 3.
Yeah. No, all of episode, I think, well, the end of episode 3 is when he starts doing it, and then episode 4, it's like he's in it. Like he's like just, and now he has to be a vegan. Like all these things that are thrust upon Dexter because this dude was a vegan. But like literally they introduced like every single like person they were like saying was hyped to be part of the cast. Everybody shows up in episode 4. You got Peter Dinklage, Kristen Ritter, Eric Stone Street, David Dastmalchian, Neil Patrick Harris shows up. I forgot about that. But like the whole Earth shows up in episode 4 for this dinner party, which is probably like one of like the coolest, like, you know, I understand they're just throwing a bunch at you, but it's still a good scene regardless.
Oh yeah, it's a great scene, and you kind of get to see, you know, Dexter sizing up all these new serial killers. Like he's like entertaining the idea, like, oh, they could, you know, like me or whatever, and I could be with people like me. But then immediately with like Eric Stone Street's character, who just like kills women with ponytails, something about that. Like, it's like, okay, that has nothing to do with anything. And this guy's a psycho and on. Like, it like quickly becomes like, oh, this is going to be his way in. Yeah.
And then like, I think one of the coolest scenes is, which is also just like, it begs a ton of questions, is like when Leon, Peter Dinklage's character, like the gross billionaire venture capitalist who has all this expendable income to just buy serial killer props and like memorabilia, he somehow has Dexter's initial case of slides that Dexter threw away. He somehow has it.
Well, he says he got those from a police officer with a gambling problem, which could be any police officer because that's like a gambling trope or police officer trope, but I think it's Quinn.
Yeah, probably Quinn. And then he also has the table where Dexter killed Brian in season 1, which is like, what? How the hell do you get your hands on that?
The Trinity hammer. You know, he has like Jeffrey Dahmer's fridge, but a lot of this stuff felt very poignant towards like drawing Dexter's attention. And this Leon guy, he's like knows more about serial killers than like the FBI, it seems like. He knows like everything about, he knows like Trinity killed in 4s, for example, like things that are like things like only Dexter would know, or something like things like that. And to like show like the ice truck killer, and like I don't know how well known the ice truck killer was to like the world, like to where it's like was he really on the Jeffrey Dahmer level and whatnot. So it starts to wonder to me does Leon know Dexter is Dexter already? And he's
gonna figure it out. There's no way he doesn't figure it out.
He hasn't figured it out already.
Yeah.
I feel like him figuring out eventually is like the obvious twist, but does he already know perhaps? And he knew what Dexter would do once he met all these killers, and he wants to get rid of them because he wants basically to have like the Mr. and Mrs. Smith for him with Charlie, Uma Thurman's character, and Dexter working kind of together here because Charlie's already removed the Canton Clobber or whatever his name was.
Yeah, the guy who kills people with a spiked baseball bat, the Canton Crusher or Clobber, right? The one thing I think, if he's expecting Dexter to take out this group of people, I don't think Dexter can kill Kristen Ritter's character because she only kills bad people.
Well, not only that, there's going to be several kind of, ethical problems for Dexter with that because Dexter, he has a thing for pale black-haired ladies, as we know.
Yes.
Particularly pale black-haired ladies that have a vice or two. And it seems like, as of now, Lady Vengeance is a better version, but still there's going to be some issues that eventually come up there. But he's looking the other way because she only kills pedophiles, but those aren't murderers. But now he's kind of got to look the other way with pedophiles. He's got to look the other way with sexual assaulters. So with his son, Harrison. So, like, he's got to keep making these exceptions, and it's going to kind of be interesting to see how he adjusts to the 2025 world. It's a lot different than 2010.
Yeah, and the only killer we don't really know anything about. I mean, unless they said some stuff I wasn't paying attention. Like, I have no idea what's the deal with David Dastmalchian's character, other than the fact that like he's David Dastmalchian is playing every David Dastmalchian character, where he's just like an enigma, and he exists. Well, I don't know what he does.
There's that. I think that's because it does feel like he's the main bad, maybe the second main bad to Leon, or perhaps beyond Leon, because he does seem the most like Dexter as well, like where he like doesn't quite know how to interact with people, doesn't have a lot of emotions. He's there, but he's not like excited to be there like the others are. So it's just like Neil Patrick Harris's character. Like just kind of right away, the tattoo killer, I believe.
Yeah, he's a tattoo killer.
Yeah, he, they just stick out as being so much shittier of people. And then David Dastmalchian's character kind of is just like Dexter, where it's like, who are you? Where are you hiding? And I think we didn't find out about the Gemini killer because he's going to be the overall arching bad, maybe ahead of Leon even because Leon might eventually have his downfall be he's not one of these killers, so he doesn't know what to do once maybe Harrison has to protect him or something.
Or like I think what might happen is, I mean, this is just me spitballing here. Like if Dexter keeps killing people in, and maybe they bring more people in, but if Dexter keeps killing people, one of those people might turn on Leon and be like, you're not protecting us, and then one of them kills Leon. And then that kind of then Dexter has to worry about it. Because the only one
Lady Vengeance definitely could kill Leon.
Yeah.
I mean, with like, and the other thing is just like we're jumping all around here, like just because if you need the summary synopsis of this episode, you can probably go somewhere else. This is more just an overall discussion, especially with these two bridge episodes because we've kind of combined it into one here because it's hard not to. It does feel like part 1A and B of an episode in a good way, but. Like the other, like there's just a lot of different, things to consider. But one is how Dexter just rushed into the kill of the tattoo killer by the end of the episode. And, again, like his unreliable conscience of Harry that's returned now. Harry like seems to like be like a ghost who's aging because he's like, I can't keep track of his stories at this point. He kind of is going back and forth with some of his advice because ultimately, it's a projection from Dexter's own conscience, which has gone through a 10-week coma, which they keep reminding us has repercussions, which they do.
Yeah. I think we're leaving out the other main part is like Harrison's storyline, where like he is just dancing on a line. Like they are so close to catching him so many times, and he keeps like getting saved. Like there's a time when Wallace and her partner have him in the room, and they literally lay out the whole story exactly as it happened.
Yeah, Wallace figured it out.
And he's just like, no, I had a one-night stand. And then he's like, I have a confession to make. The reason why you can't find me leaving the hotel is because I live here. And then Elsa backs him up, and then like he's in the clear again. Which is like, I mean, the Harrison storyline is probably, I'm not gonna say more compelling than Dexter's, but it's definitely like got a ton of thrills to it. Just like how close he is to getting caught.
Yeah, definitely more stakes to it as well. And Wallace, they're definitely making her seem very smart, and she is. But the other detective is pretty useless so far. So it's kind of funny. Like I forgot.
He's the partner.
Yes, like he really is. Like he doesn't do much. He doesn't even listen to a cool song and solve an entire murder as Staying Alive is playing.
Yeah, she always listens to Staying Alive. Detective Oliva is the other guy, Dominic Fumiso. I know. It's funny that I know the actor but not the character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and it's like, so it's like, Harrison is, learning in a big city, like just like Dexter did with Miami, but now with New York. And, like it's interesting because Harrison, since we're on the Harrison thread, we can go to the Batista encounters. Batista is like, I think they're starting to kind of do some clever stuff with Batista's character, because they're starting to be like, what won't he do to kind of solve this? And is he going to end up going too far, so to speak? And, I think what's going to end up happening is he's not going to go too far, but I think Harrison's going to take it as he's going too far, because now that Dexter came and kind of co-opted him right before he was about to have listened to Angel on his shoulder and talk to Wallace about it. He tried calling Wallace. Wallace didn't answer. And then he ends up going to the police station. He's 2 steps away from walking in, and Dexter happens to show up.
Yeah, the ending of the episode ends on like 2 crazy, like subtle notes. One of Dexter showing Harrison he's still alive, stopping him from turning himself in. And also, I'll say when he kills Lowell, the tattoo killer, the look of shock on Lowell's face when Dexter's like, no, I'm the Bay Harbor Butcher. Splat. This is the look on his face is like priceless. It's like, holy shit. Like, I don't know if he's like awestruck or what, because like he thought he was the dark passenger. When he reveals he's the Bay Harbor Butcher, it's all just in that one facial expression. Like something. Yeah, everybody's expecting him to come back, I guess.
Yeah, and I do think that like that is a little bit of a sign that Leon might be aware of what he's doing here.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like, so because like there's awareness that the Bay Harbor Butcher's out there and he's not been really caught, and that's all we got. And like it's just, again, like that tour of the museum was just like very like felt like it was baiting Dexter, so to speak. And then there's just a lot of kind of interesting stuff with that. To see Harrison almost confess, and then kind of the whole when he's learning from Dexter, the first rule is don't get caught. That's the same reason why Dexter ends up killing so many innocent people throughout the show, as Batista pointed out. I think that eventually, while Dexter wouldn't kill Angel, I do think that Harrison will kill Angel. I think that will be the reason why, defending his dad. So like
Angel has no ties to anything now. Angel has officially retired from Miami Metro. He is not going back home. He's in it.
Right, which makes me think he's going to do some unscrupulous things to get to where he wants to get to. And I think the audience, we're going to get manipulated at some points to start to really root against Angel to the point where we want to see him dead, because that's what Dexter does to us, the show. Like, it does it over and over. We're like, this is the last time that I'm going to look past all of Dexter's issues and root against the person who's technically not wrong.
Yeah, he's the good guy, guys.
Yeah, like even like the way they're starting to like shoot Angel. Have you noticed he's like really dark now? Like,
he's always wearing the hat. The hat's always half pulled down. He's always drinking. He's
in like darker clothes. He's like talking in a more serious, like lower tone now. Like, they're trying to get us to forget who he was. And
he's become like a flawed 1940s noir detective.
Exactly. Yeah. But like for good reason. When again he reminds us, he's like, your mother, your aunt, LaGuerta in the opposite order. I just said it. For some reason I said in reverse. But like either way, like so overall, I just feel like this show is doing such a good job at continuing this story. Once again, like I'm like, don't get caught. I don't want Dexter to get caught. Like I don't, because I want the show to go. I want the show to continue for a while. I need to have the Trinity Killer show back up. Jokes needs to show back up. I hope they weren't just in that one episode. That would be a bummer. But other than that, like this new cast of who he's going to kill over these next few episodes, and he's just like, I'm going to worry about it later with, how everybody's going to catch on. I just think that's so reckless. And like, again, like he's getting so reckless and old, like he can't get away with that. It's just getting more and more sloppy. Being in New York, being in such a big place, maybe you get away with that a little more, but
I would say he now has this fresh batch of like innocent people that he stays in the house of this East African family. They're going to get fucked up somehow. One or more of them.
Well, Blessing is definitely going to die by the end of the season.
Yeah, 100%.
Like he's so loved. He's the best character on the show so far. He hadn't been in the third episode, or I should say fourth episode. Too much, but
he helps Dexter raise his Uber rating. He's the greatest dude.
From a 4.2, he was dangerously, and so
that's crazy. 4.2, you can't see it.
Yeah, most important. But yeah, otherwise, like trying to think, like he's, again, Lady Vengeance seems like a perfect match for Dexter. They're running around together, going back to her Airbnb. They have a similar interest there. Like all these things, it's too good to be true. There's going to be something with that's going to go horribly wrong. Dexter has to keep pretending to be a vegan, which is, pretty funny. But that joke's getting old quickly, so I hope
it's a kale pastry.
Yeah, vegan jokes are back, folks. Just like Dexter. It's 2017 all over again. But yeah, this has really been good. I'm trying to think of anything else before we go to ratings.
I think we've covered all the characters pretty much. Like, no, there's the fact that like Harrison kind of loves Elsa, but Elsa kind of shut him down. That too. That'll probably come up again.
Yeah, and Elsa saying way too much to Angel to get him onto the trail, which was kind of. There's a lot of convenient moments in the writing, but that's how you have a show. Yeah. Like it is what it is. Like him, like accidentally killing Red and then getting invited to a League of Extraordinary Serial Killers. Like things are just like they're how we get these beautiful, beautiful fruits. So just enjoy it.
All right, let's rate these episodes. All right, I think you could start. What'd you think of episode 3 to start?
So episode 3, it's like hard to take it just at the episode, but I'm going to take it from when I saw episode 3 last week, and I'll give it a 3.5. It's solid. There's no bad episode in the season so far, but yeah, there just was a little bit of predictability with what happened and a little bit of leaving it to desire.
I think I'm going to stick with you on that. I think it's also a 3.5 for me as well. It's not like bad at all, but it's strictly a bridge. When you watch it in the context of the episode that comes after it, and you definitely feel justified in being like, yeah, that was just to get us where we're at. What'd you think of episode 4?
Episode 4, I think this is close to, as the kids say, peak Dexter. I don't know how many 5s I've given since original sin. I think I gave at least 1 or 2 last for those reviews. For New Blood, I would have given 0 5-star episodes. And here's our first 5 videotape episode. Honestly, like it was almost an hour and 5 minutes, and it was just had so much going on. I remember I paused it at one point. There's still 30 minutes left in the episode. Like I haven't had that happen since season 4 of Dexter, where I've been like, there's so much going on with there was a great driving force with Batista's storyline, but also the side storylines are really interesting with the serial killer, group and everything like that. I was sad to see Neil Patrick Harris go so soon, but I mean, he can only use that hairpiece for so long. Like
he has the full on like 80s like Daryl Hall.
Luke Perry from Beverly Hills 90210, maybe. Like it was so much hair. It was so beautiful.
He needed a handlebar mustache to complete that look.
Yeah, but
I'm with you again. This is a 5-star episode. Like they give you everything they promised you, they just delivered. So now it's like can you maintain this? I don't know, but like this has to be a 5-star episode.
And it's just like there's just so many little like Easter eggs like that you can go back and watch from this episode. Like I want to go back and watch that whole museum episode and like pause at each plaque and see who's there. But
because there's things that are there that they don't talk about.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And I think those are there for a purpose. It's just like you can really feel that Clyde Phillips, the actual showrunner of Dexter, is back from the first 4 seasons. This feels like season 4, like the closest we've had to that, which is the highest compliment I can give a show. I do hope it can keep this pace, but this is like a pretty brisk pace it's keeping. So, I feel like now we're going 1 episode at a time. It's kind of perfect. And the way we took 2 episodes at a time for these first 2, I think worked out really nicely.
I think all the serial killers, I don't know how I would cast them better. Like they picked great people.
Yeah. And I really like Uma Thurman's character as well. I think she's really interesting. And so Peter Dinklage is just killing it. Like I can't think of somebody better for the role that he's in.
He's still doing Tyrion Lannister in the modern day. That's what he is.
But here's the thing: is I kind of thought that too.
Yeah.
And either I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it.
Or he's just so good that's just in that role. That's how we're going to see everything he does forever. Because for me, I still see J.K. Simmons as Vern Schillinger from
Oz.
HBO.
Well, that's every role he takes.
Exactly. So
they just strip away. You don't have to be a Nazi though. We're gonna take the Nazi.
Yeah, when he's selling an Allstate, car insurance to me in between football, it's kind of weird to see it. But anyways, we're getting off track here. I'm sorry.
That's fine. What do we have coming up? More Dexter next week. We'll do episode 5 next week. Episode 5. I don't know what was the title of episode 5. I had it right here a second ago, and then I got greedy. Episode 5 is called Murder Horny. We're going to cover Murder Horny next week. But the schedule here, we'll get to that in a second. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Go to the Facebook group at Why We Love Horror. Check out the Letterboxd challenge at that website. We got a show about that now. But the schedule here now, Sundays, you're watching it. It's the Why We Love Horror TV. We're doing Dexter Resurrection for the time being. But any horror TV shows, we're going to start doing them as they pop up. We're going to be more strict with that. Monday is Versus. Tuesday, Why Liv Loves Horror. I'm not sure what she's doing this week. I think she's doing Wallace and Gromit, the second Wallace and Gromit after the Were Rabbit. Vengeance Most Foul. She's doing that this week. Wednesday, Aaron and Wines. Not sure what Aaron's doing this week. We can keep it a surprise, or Aaron can tell you now.
We'll figure it out as we go.
Sounds great. Thursday is the Why We Love Horror Letterboxd Challenge Watch Along Show. We're doing shorts that were turned into feature-length movies this week. And then Friday, 2 episodes of Why We Love Horror Trivia as usual. And then scattered throughout the week, a lot this week, a lot of Why We Love Horror this week, because a lot of movies came out. Plus, we got to cover some stuff. So look for the stuff that you're expecting to see scattered throughout the week or just all front-loaded. Who cares? There'll be videos for you to watch.
Yeah.
Until next time, I'm JWMaher, and that's Aaron Brooks. We'll see you next time on the Why We Love Horror TV show.